Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom to the CRC community, to everyone beyond CRC in St. Louis that is here with us for this service. And of course, Shabbat Shalom to Josephine, our Bat Mitzvah. Josephine, who's becoming Bat Mitzvah this morning as part of this service, and to her family. And there, right there, that's CRC. But there's Josephine outside in nature. Josephine, do you hear me? Because I love that. How awesome. You look great out there. I loved that slideshow. It was so you. Unbelievable. Every picture was such the Josephine that I've gotten to know, because now you're an 8th grader, right? We were together when you were a 7th grader in our 7th grade class. I know your Bat Mitzvah was scheduled to be in April. And of course, because of the pandemic, it got rescheduled, and we hoped we would be together where that picture behind us is in our Sukkot Shalom. But it wasn't to be. So you are at your home, your Shalom Bayit, outside your home. And I hope that even though we're not there in that synagogue, that you feel our presence, that you feel your community and your rabbis, because we're all here supporting you and excited for you and ready to be inspired by you. And so I just want to make sure everyone knows who's there with you, because you do have a congregation, an awesome holy congregation, of course, your parents and your sister Zazie, but also there are 2 of your grandparents, Bubby and Zadie. We also know that you have 2 other grandparents, Pop Pop and Boo Boo. They're watching in Pennsylvania. Hi, guys. You'll see them on video later, but also at your house is Uncle John and Aunt Linda, your cousins Sage and Elliot, your Aunt Sarah and your Aunt Linda, and is that right? No, who's not there?
It's Elijah.
That's okay. I said, what did I say? Elijah and
Elliot.
Sage. Yeah. Oh, Elijah. Sorry, Elijah and Sage and Sarah, Aunt Linda, and some of your friends. So I know that you see them, and I hope you also feel our presence as you take these steps, these important holy steps to become Bat Mitzvah. And so we're going to start this service the way we always start services, with some singing and prayer, of course. And the morning prayer that we like to start with is a prayer of gratitude, to be thankful for having just woken up. And you, Josephine, woke up to your Bat Mitzvah day outside on this fall morning. So there's much to be thankful for, even though we know there are many challenges, much to be thankful for. And so we have a video of that prayer, Modeh Ani. Josephine, we want you to feel not only all of us that are gathered here for your Bat Mitzvah, our presence, but we want you to feel the arms of our tradition, of the Jewish
we are the guinea pigs for this system, so bear with us.
Josephine.
There we go.
Josephine. Okay. All right. Deep breath. The reason we need to do Tikkun Olam, perfect the world, is because the world ain't always perfect. But this is still a beautiful, holy moment. Josephine, we're back. And I was about to introduce your bubby, because your bubby is going to present you with the talit, the prayer shawl, that's going to remind you not only of our presence, but that you are wrapped up, surrounded by, enveloped by the Jewish tradition. And so it's an honor to ask your bubby to come forward and present you with a very special talis.
One of your favorite playwrights, William Shakespeare, asked, "What's in a name?" And in your case, a whole lot. We are here as representatives of Aunt Alyssa and by extension Uncle Petey, who got to know you briefly running up and down the aisles at many colors tallis that once belonged to Joseph Berman. Their son, our nephew, your mom's cousin, the source of your name. Those of us who knew Joey and loved Joey hope that you will, in addition to his name, I'm joking. In addition to his name, that you will share his love of Judaism, his strength of character, his frame, his sense of humor, his kindness, and his gute neshama, his good soul. You should wear his talis and his name proudly.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushani b'mitzvotav v'tzivani l'hitatef b'tzitzit.
Amen. Give your Bobby and your Zadie a hug, or whatever it is you feel comfortable doing in this time. Beautiful. Let me see that talit, Josephine. Thinking about Joey and your family, and these are the good moments. These are the really deep, good, and rich moments in life, and that's why we sing Ma Tovu. How good, Ma Tovu, are the times where we put our hearts into a moment that fills us with meaning and purpose and love. Ma Tovu.
שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה 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 לה, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה 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 לה, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, יאללה לה 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 לה, יאללה לה 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 לה, יאללה לה 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 לה, יאללה לה 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 לה, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Amen. Amen. So Josephine, I want to make sure everyone who's watching your service and participating know that you can access. I know some of you have sidurs, the special sidur that Josephine and her family created for just for her Bat Mitzvah, which contains the Shabbat prayers, but also some things that Josephine and her family wanted to fill this moment with in terms of inspiring and meaningful words. You can access the Siddur electronically if you go to Central Reformed Congregation website. Just Google it and click on it and go to where it says live stream. And on live stream, you'll see, it'll say Josephine Kaplan's Bat Mitzvah Siddur. And click on that, and you'll get an electronic version that you can download or just follow along with. So I wanted to make sure everyone knew that because I'm going to announce some page numbers as we go along. Some of the prayers will also be superimposed on the screen. And also you can just listen to Josephine lead our service because she's been working really hard for a long time now to be our service leader on this morning. And so we are continuing on page 3.
Please chant together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'tzalmo. Blessed are you, the eternal our God, who has created me in your image. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani bat chorin. Blessed are you, the eternal our God, who has made me free. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani Yisrael. Blessed are you, the eternal our God, who has made me Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivrim. Blessed are you, the eternal our God, who opens the eyes of the blind. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish sharumim. Blessed are you, the eternal our God, who provides clothes for the needy. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hanotein la'af koach. Blessed are you, the eternal our God, who gives strength to the weak. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher chechi mitzadei gaver. Blessed are you, the eternal our God, who guides the steps of human beings. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, B'yamad yivrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yamechon u'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'yimaru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mivorach la'alam u'me'omaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yithalev v'yithalal shemei dekudasha b'rechu leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiram be'alma v'yimaru amen. Please rise as we call each other to prayer with the Baruch Hu.
ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
We are at the top of page 7, and we continue with Yoter Or, our blessing over light. You know, Josephine, you're outside. This is like the perfect blessing for where you were standing. So for those following along, we are at the top of page 7.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or uvarei choshech oseh shalom uvarei et hakol hamir la'aretz v'ladarim leha barachamim uvtivo mekadesh bechol yom tamid me'aseh v'reshit ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai kulam bechochma asita me'ala haaretz kinyanecha titbarach Adonai Eloheinu al shivach ma'aseh Yadecha, ve'al marei or she'asita, Yefarucha Selah, Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer Hamarot. Together. In some special way, every person completes the universe. If I do not play my part, I injure the pattern of all existence. The same stream of life runs through my veins night and day, runs through the world and dances in rhythmic measures. It is the same life that shoots in joy through the dust of the earth, in numberless blades of grass, and breaks into tumultuous waves of leaves and flowers. It is the same life that is rocked in the ocean cradle of birth and death, in ebb and flow. I feel my limbs are made glorious by the touch of this world of life. And my pride is from of dancing in this moment. There are two lasting bequests we can give our children. One is roots, the other is wings. Please join me in chanting the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Please be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shiftecha b'veitecha u'lechtecha b'derech u'shochbecha u'chumecha U'shartam leod al yadecha v'chayu letodafot bein einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'v'yisharecha leman tizkuru v'hasitem et kol mitzvotai v'yatem kedoshim le'elchechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzetziechem me'eretz Mitzrayim l'hiyot lachem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem. Together. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. Take to the heart these words which I command you this day. Teach them diligently to your children. Speak of them when you are at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you arise. Bind them as a sign on your hand and let them serve as symbols between your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Remember to do all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am your God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I am your God. I know that we are people who have crossed many seas. In every service, we remember that the price of freedom is often great as we sing the same words that our ancestors sang after crossing from slavery to freedom at the shores of another sea.
מי כמוך נדר בקודש.
Please rise.
Oh, give me 1 second, Josephine. You're doing such a great job. You are. You know, I had the privilege of getting to work with you when you were in 6th grade, and you've worked so hard to get to this moment. And I think we just need to acknowledge all of your time and effort that you've put in. You've led us so beautifully so far this morning. And right now we are at the top of page 13 as we move into prayer. Some of you probably noticed Josephine has picked out some amazing quotes that will be, we've heard some, and there will be some more throughout the service. So I hope for this next section for prayer, whether you focus on Josephine leading us beautifully or these wonderful quotes that she has picked out for her to do, we take a moment for prayer. Top of page 13.
Please rise. To forget one's ancestors is to be a brook without a source, a tree without a root. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, v'Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, V'zocher chastei avot v'imahot, u'mivi gula livnei v'neihem, liman shemo b'ahava, melech ozer u'mashiach u'magin. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu Abraham v'ezrat Sarah. Together. Praise be the God of our ancestors, of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob, of Sarah, of Rebekah, of Leah, and of Rachel. Praise be the source of strength and courage, the source of kindness and good deeds. Praise be the source of gentleness and love, softness and kind words. Praise be the person who strands strength through gentleness. Praise be the person who perfects gentleness through strength. Praise be the person who acts according to the best that is within. Praise be the person who reaches out to touch the best in others. Praise be the gentle faithfulness of Abraham and the valiant strength of Sarah. Praise be the God who infused humanity with divine potential. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechaye hakol atah lehoshia, mechaye Chayim bechesed, mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, somech nochim berochei cholim, umatir asurim, karayim emunato lishnei afar, michamocha bal gevurot, umidom melach, Melech mimit umechaye umatmiach Yeshua ne'eman atah lechayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Malaye Hakol.
Josephine, that was so funny. We are at the top of page 16 with the Kedusha, which I believe Leslie and Andrew will lead us in. And this is a blessing of holiness. It calls all of us to lead holy lives.
נקדש שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמם, ככתוב היה נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ויאמר, קדוש קדוש קדוש, אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ, כבודו אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו באדיר, שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני צבאות. אלחנו אלוהינו, הוא אבינו ומלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישביענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון, לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גדלך, ונצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. The meaning of the Sabbath is to celebrate time rather than space.
So we continue with the words of Vishamru, this celebration of Shabbat, in the middle of page 18.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ולעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ולעולם. בני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ולעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ולעולם. וביום השביעי שבת Shabbat, Shabbat, Vayinafesh, V'shamru, B'nei Yisrael, El HaShabbat, Asod El HaShabbat, Medoratam Berit Olam, V'shamru, B'nei Yisrael, El HaShabbat, Asod El HaShabbat, Medoratam Berit Olam, Medoratam Berit Olam.
So Josephine,
Gratitude
we're on page 19. Go for it.
Gratitude turns what we have into enough. You can't find peace by avoiding life.
That is so true. I hope everyone has gotten a sense of just how thoughtful Josephine is through these beautiful quotes she has chosen for her Bat Mitzvah. So we are going to have a prayer for peace, Sim Shalom, and then we will move into a few moments of silent meditation, which Josephine has provided another beautiful reading, writing for us to think about as well.
Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh Shalom bimromah, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh Shalom, Shalom bimromah, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh Shalom, Shalom bimromah, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen.
So beautiful, blessing for peace. We always end our tefillah, our prayer section, with a prayer for peace. And I hope you had a moment to read through this beautiful poem that Josephine picked by Maya Angelou, which, at the very end is so perfect that we are more alike than we are unalike. So thank you, Josephine, for beautiful words for our Shabbat morning. I am now going to turn things over to Rabbi Susan as we move into our Torah service.
Hello, Josephine. Thank you for this lovely service. You are now about to read the Torah, something you've been preparing for a long time, I know, with a lot of support from your wonderful family. So I'd like to ask your parents and your grandparents who are here with us in person to come and stand with you as you prepare to receive the Torah. You know, the portion of your original date for your bat mitzvah is Mitzora, I understand, a really messy portion, right? It's not one of those easy ones. It's one of those hard ones. But this week is no better, my dear. Noah, you know, yes, it's nice to know about all those animals, but oh my God, this is a tough portion too. Things got so bad. Things got so bad, Josephine, that we had to start all over again. That's how bad they got. But I'm looking at you, and I'm thinking about some of the things your mother told me about you, my dear. She told me you are an old soul. And she said that you are also named for two great grandmothers. You're named for Edith Berman and Henrietta Sklar. And I understand that they were two forces of nature, those two women, who turned their kitchens into command central. And your mother told me that when you go into the kitchen, you feel that power. Maybe because you've been baking with your grandma too, right? But there is something about that kitchen table that we believe can change the world and clean up the mess that has been made. So I want you to feel that you are receiving this Torah from all of those strong women who have come before you, who have inspired you and will continue, I hope, to carry you into becoming the woman that you will become, to help us continue cleaning up the mess, you know, responding to illness, which is what Matzor is all about, right? And trying to make sure the world becomes a better place. So included in this chain of tradition are, of course, your grandparents who are streaming in from Pennsylvania. We know they are standing in this line. Your grandparents who are here will take that Torah, but I hope you also feel those great grandmothers. Of course, you feel Joey now with the talit around you. I also want you to feel some of the heroes your mother told me you reach toward. Women who are taking a chance, like the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She's right there in your chain of Torah. AOC and other women who dare to speak up, right, and speak out. And you included the beautiful Maya Angelou so beautifully in your service. I'm putting her in your chain of Torah as well. Think about all the artists who have gone before you, all of those who love art and books and literature like you do, that will continue to inspire you to be the very, very best Josephine that you can become. So I'm going to ask your grandfather to take that Torah, that little Torah there, to give it to your grandmother, to give it to your father, to give it to your mother, who will put it into your arms. And as you stand there, sweetheart, I know how close you are to your sister Zazie, and I think she's going to help you undress the Torah. So Zazie, come up there and stand with your sister as she leads us in the words of the Shema, to declare that she receives this tradition and that she is committed to adding her voice to this long chain of tradition, you know, that takes us back to the power of the kitchen table, where our voices will speak up and speak out and help us to be the best we can be and clean up the mess that is in this world. So please lead us now in the words of the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shmo.
And now, Zazie, if you'll help your big sister undress that Torah so that she can read and teach You take her place in the long chain of tradition, adding her spectacular voice now to all of those who have come before. Rabbi Randy is about to call the Aliyah.
Can you hear me? Hey, Josephine. Yeah, there you are. There you are, out in Maplewood. And the sun is shining, and your family passed you the Torah, and you heard those words from Rabbi Susan, and I hope feel the presence of all of the people that were mentioned and all the people that sort of helped bring this moment to life, including, maybe most important, you, to arrive at this moment. And so we are here now as kind of the heart of Bat Mitzvah, the Torah service, where we will hear you chant from the Torah portion of the week of your Bat Mitzvah date back in April. Very relevant right now. It's been relevant for 7 months or so. And also to hear you chant from that Haftorah as well. For those of you that have access to Siddur, you can follow along with Josephine on page 23 as she chants the Torah. You'll see the Hebrew and the English translation of the section of the portion that Josephine has been chanting. I also would like to mention, Josephine, your teacher, Golda, right? You and Golda worked together. It's probably been a very long time now that when you started, and took a little pause after that original date and then picked right up again. And, you know, you've been leading this service just magnificently. I noticed it as we were running through the service these last few weeks. You know exactly what you're doing, and you have command over the moment and strength. And I know that will continue as we continue the service. And so on page 23 is the Torah portion, with thanks to Golda Cohen, your tutor that you were in Chavruta with, this sort of study partnership that helped you stand up with this Torah and prepare to chant for us and to teach us as well. And so we have some aliyahs, some moments of coming up to the Torah and making blessings for this mitzvah that Josephine, you are doing for us by letting us hear words of Torah on Shabbat. The first aliyah is going to consist of 2 videos of relatives that could not be here in St. Louis with you, but who are watching on the stream. We have people watching from all over. You'll see in just a moment, even in the country of Jordan. But the blessing before is going to be a group of relatives, and the blessing after is going to be a group of relatives. And in between, Josephine, you will chant the first part of your portion. And so we're about to see your grandparents in Pennsylvania, Boo Boo and Pop Pop, where Stanley and Judy. In Providence, they're in Pennsylvania. In Providence is your Aunt Tamara and Uncle Breck and cousin Etta and cousin Iris. And so they are going, and I'm going to call them up with their Hebrew names, their sacred names, and then we'll see the blessing before the reading of Torah. Ya'amdu Shmuel Chaim ben Eliyahu v'Yehudit bat Chaim v'Tovia Tserel bat Shmuel Chaim v'Yehudit v'Eliyah Tzviya bat Brek v'Tovia Tserel v'Leah bat Brak Chanaleah bat Brak v'Tovia Tserel Aliyah l'Torah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher Barchabanu Mikol Ha'amin, V'natan Lanu et Torato, Baruch Atah Adonai, Noten HaTorah.
V'adaber Adonai al Moshe lemor, Zot tehiyah Torah Tamsara Yom Harto V'huval el HaKohen V'yatza HaKohen el michutz l'machaneh V'ra'ah HaKohen V'hinei Yerpa nega hatzarat min hatzarua.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten HaTorah.
Josephine, I want to make sure everybody knows that the blessing after we had in Jordan, Amman, Jordan, I believe, Uncle Stuart and Aunt Sarah. That was Shmuel, Yitzchak, and Sarah. And in Brooklyn, so from Jordan to Brooklyn, we had your Aunt Elise, who is Hannah Esther, Bat Shmuel Chaim v'Yehudit, and we had Uncle Daniel Yitzchak Aryeh. So love those split screen videos of the Aliyah and a beautiful chanting of your first section. And now we move on to section 2. And we have an Aliyah consisting of the people that are there with you in Maplewood. So I'm going to ask your Bubby and Zadie to come back up, and your Uncle John and Aunt Linda, your cousin Elijah and cousin Sage, and your Aunt Sarah and another Aunt Linda. That's everybody. So why don't you guys come up and join Josephine over there? Beautiful. I'm going to call you up with your Hebrew names, with your sacred names in just a moment. Is that everybody? All right. Everyone looking good. So I'm going to call you, and then you can do the blessing before, and then we'll hear Josephine chant, and then you'll do the blessing after. Ya'amdu Esther Leba Bat Zelig Ve'etafruma Ve'avraham Ben Yoel Ve'hinda Ve'yonis Nisan Ben Avraham Ve'Esther Leba Ve'linda Ve'eliyahu Ben Jonas Nisan Ve'linda Ve'shlomo Ben Jonas Nisan Ve'linda Ve'Sarah Rachel Bat Avraham Ve'Esther Leba Ve'linda Aliyah Sheni.
And whenever you're ready for the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amin, v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai, noten HaTorah.
V'tzivah HaKohen v'lakach lemitaher shtei tziparim hayom teherot ve'et eres ushni hatolad v'hayazo v'tzivah HaKohen v'shichat hatzipor ha'echat el klei cheres al mayim chayim Right hatzipor hachaya yikach ota v'et eit ha'eres v'et shni hatolat v'ha'ezo v'toval otam v'et hatzipor hachaya v'dam hatzipor hashachuta al hamayim hachayim.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam,
Asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam matam b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
So there you go. Good job, Group 2, Aliyah 2. You guys sound wonderful, and Josephine doing great. This Josephine is your Aliyah. You've been chanting the Torah all along, but we reserve this moment to call you to the Torah as a Bat Mitzvah, which is a unique and singular and special and holy moment. So I want your mom and dad to be right up there with you, so that they can be at your side or get at your back while you are called to the Torah. So there they are, Ben and Susan, your mom and your dad. So Josephine, it's really an honor to be able to call you to the Torah as one of your rabbis. Really has been a great journey, an interesting and unique journey to your Bat Mitzvah. And it's just really very wonderful to me that I've kind of got to lengthen the time that we were connected through Bat Mitzvah. You know, we had all of 7th grade, we had most of 7th grade to do mitzvahs, you know, with our class and to get you prepared for your Bat Mitzvah. And then, you know, it got extended, and we kept working together. And I even got to come over and deliver all the Bat Mitzvah kind of supplies to your house and sort of see your neighborhood. And I just felt every time I saw you, the thing that I just kept feeling was Josephine is ready. She is ready. And there's something about those extra months too. You know, you're a different Josephine than you would have been in April had you had your Bat Mitzvah. You're the same Josephine, right? But you know, but it's true, right? It's the journey, and it's maturing, and it's growth, and it's just all the experiences you've had, the wonderful experiences and the meaningful but challenging experiences. They've kind of become part of you, and you carry yourself differently. I've noticed it, you know, and so this is a very powerful moment for you to become Bat Mitzvah, which is what's about to happen, because I'm going to call you to the Torah with your wonderful Jewish name of Ita, right? Ita, a Yiddish name that you heard from Rabbi Susan, carries the names of great grandparents, with your parents at your side, and your Hebrew name contains their Hebrew name as well. And so I'm going to call you to the Torah, and then you're going to finish chanting the rest of your passage. Ta'amod Ita Bat Ben Zion Abraham V'matla Aliyah La Torah Bat HaMitzvah. And do the blessing.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Ba'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Ba'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torah tov. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. V'chiza al hamitaher. V'chiza al hamitaher min haTorah sheva pe'amim. V'ti haro v'shilach et hatipor ha'echad al b'nei cherez al b'nei hasadech v'chibes hamitaher et bigadav v'gilach et kol se'aro v'rachatz b'mayim v'taher v'achar yavo el hamachaneh v'yishav michutz l'achalo shivat yamim v'haya v'yom hashvi'i v'gilach et kol se'aro et rosho v'et zikano ואין גבו עינה, ואת כל שערו יגלח, וכיבס את בגדיו, ורחץ את בשרו במים וטהר. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת, וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה. Amen.
Amen. Beautiful. Get a little nachas from your folks there. Yeah, beautiful. Yasher koach, as we say. And Ben and Susan, you guys can have your seats, and Josephine, you stay up there, and we want to make sure we invoke a healing prayer, as we do whenever we read from the Torah, because we say that our hearts are open from the Torah, from your chanting, and your portion is about disease and wrestling with how to, the right way, the ethical way, the healing way to make people better. And so, of course, we're thinking about all the people in this current moment that are ill with COVID, for all the people who are in hospital, for people who are sick, and people who need healing of mind, body, and spirit. In this portion that tries to figure out the best way for healing to occur, we add our prayers to all those that we love and all those who could use a refuah shlema, a complete healing.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai rofei hachawim. We pray for healing. We pray to figure out ways that we, all of us, even those of us who are not medical professionals, can bring healing to those who need it. Amen. And so, Josephine, I'm going to ask, did your sister help you already put the Torah away? Why don't we do that? Zazie, come on up, and because we're going to, there you go. Nicely done, Zazie. Won't be too much longer, Zazie, before you're working towards your Bat Mitzvah. And we'll all be there, God willing. All right, so thank you, Zazie. Josephine, now we've heard from the Torah, and we're about to hear Haftorah, words from the other parts of the Bible that were chosen because they complement the Torah portion. And this Haftorah from the second book of Kings kind of pushes that mission of trying to figure out how to do healing for leprosy from the sort of theoretical in the Torah to practical in how it lives out in ancient Israel. And of course, we're still grappling with healing and with ethics and trying to be the best healers we can and how to deal with disease and illness. And so we're continuing this mission and this purpose. We hope to get better and better at it, as I know you'll help us understand in just a minute with your Devar Torah. But for now, on page 25, the blessing before your Haftorah, your actual Haftorah section, and then the blessing after, and then take a deep breath after that, and we want to hear your commentary, your Devar Torah. So whenever you're ready.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratzav v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emed. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'torat u'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo u'b'nvi'ei ha'emet b'asedek. V'arba'a anashim hayu metzora'im petach hashar v'yimaru ish al re'ehu ma hanachnu yoshvim po ad matnu imarmanu nafo ha'ir v'harav ba'ir v'matnu sham v'im Yeshavnu fo v'matnu ve'ata lechu v'nipla al machane aram im yachayunu nichya v'im yamitunu v'matnu v'yakumu v'neshev lavo al machane aram Vaya vo'u ad kitzei machane aram v'hine ein sham ish v'Adonai hishmiya et machane aram kol rechev kol sus kol chayil gadol v'yamaru ish el Achi hine sachar aleinu melech Yisrael et malchei chachitim v'et malchei Mitzrayim lavo aleinu vayakumu vayanusu v'neshev v'ya'asvu et ahalehem v'yatzusehem v'et hamorehem Rehem hamachane ka'aser hi vayanusu el nafsham. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zorku haolamim sadik bechol hadorot ha'el hane'eman ha'omer ve'oseh hamdaber kayem shekol devarav emet v'asedek al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al ha'anvi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha v'limnicha likavod ultifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach umvarachim otach yiparach shimcha b'fi kol chai tamid le'olam va'ed baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. My Torah portion is Metzora. It's about when the Jews were wandering in the desert and they received rules to live by. God spoke to Moses about the purification of a healed leper. The word leper is used to refer to someone with this disease, leprosy, which is a skin disease. The Torah suggests that lepers have been affected by skin disease because of wrongdoing. The Torah portion gives instructions for the priests on how to cure a leper with all the ingredients and sacrifices. The Torah states, "When the time is right, a priest shall go outside the camp to the leper's area and confirm if the leper has been healed. The priest then shall make a sacrifice with 2 clean living birds. One bird is to be killed with ritual, while the other is to be set free in open country. Only after all of that is the leper allowed to return to the camp." Because leprosy was thought to be very contagious, the word leper became used when referring to someone as an outcast or to be avoided. Even though we may not use the term leper to refer to people anymore, there are still other terms that we say in our head and out loud. Often when someone looks different than us, possibly because they are disfigured or disabled, or even because they are part of a racial minority, there is a tendency we have to label them with a simple term. It is clear in the Torah that people with leprosy are made to live in their own area, isolating them from the rest of the people in the camp. This led others to judge and mistreat them. These days, there might not be an area that we bring people who frighten us because of their differences, but we still practice isolation. There is exclusion, such as when you have a lunch table at school, and there might be a kid wandering around looking for a place to fit in, and the immediate thought is, "You can't sit here." Also, there's a tendency we have to stare at people that somehow look different from the norm, making them stand out or feel called out. We may not call people impure out loud, but in our minds, our fear of those who are different from us is saying that since they are not like us, we need to stay away from them. For example, people with illnesses or disabilities. We may find ourselves looking at a young child that is bald. Even if we don't know something is wrong, our minds jump to conclusions like cancer. Or a person with a disfigured face. We may not know enough about this person to make assumptions about them, but we often make up stories about what happened to them even though they are probably not true. I have some ideas about how to overcome this. My first idea is that we can try to talk to people, to see that we may have more in common than we think, get to know them and become friends with them. We could join a forum or club at school or outside of it. We can find activities that allow us to experience different cultures or communities that we may be unfamiliar with. My second idea is that if we know someone with an illness, we should learn about it, understand it, then you might understand what they go through. We should make this effort so we can create a safer community for people to be themselves in. When we have a culture of empathy, it is easier to express ourselves and how we are. My Torah portion Mitzorah reminds us through giving the example of the leper and their isolation, that even though our differences might be a big deal to some, there are always ways to be inclusive and make someone feel like they are part of the community.
Josephine, I am so moved by your words. I have to tell you, I have been a part of many of these bar and bat mitzvah, these virtual events. First of all, I want to say, first, I'm so sorry that you are in hypercolor right now. That is totally my fault. But I feel like it's so appropriate for the teaching that you just gave us, which was so meaningful. When we were doing your rehearsal, when you were giving this teaching for the first time that I heard it, at least, you couldn't see me, but I was sitting right where I am now, and I broke into tears. Your words are so meaningful. They are so powerful, and they point towards a world that we should be living in and a world that we should have created for you and your generation. But I have so much hope looking at you, even in all of your Technicolor splendor as you are right now. I have such hope that the future will be a brighter and a better place because of people like you, because of teachings like yours, and because of the way that the world, God willing, will soon become. And so we have another blessing for you. We have a blessing from a board member, from Shannon Rollman, who has some presents for you, and I believe they will be delivered to you up there as well. Is that correct? Am I right in that? Okay, here's Shannon.
Hi, Josephine. My name is Shannon Rollman. I serve on the board at Central Reform Congregation, and it is my honor to wish you a big hearty mazel tov on behalf of the board and Central Reform. We are so proud to present you with this certificate that says that you have become a bat mitzvah and that 2 trees have been planted in your honor in Israel. 1 tree will be planted in a majority Jewish neighborhood and the other in a largely Arab neighborhood. So it's our hope that you'll be able to see that the two trees can grow together and in a land filled with justice and peace, and that you'll one day visit and see the fruits of all that has been planted. And secondly, it is my honor to present you with this beautiful tzedakah jar in hopes that one day you'll be able to contribute what you collect to a cause of your choice and something that you believe in. So again, on behalf of Central Reform Congregation, Mazel Tov on your accomplishment. We are so proud of you.
Thank you, Shannon, from afar, and Josephine, you have your tzedakah jar and your certificate. And I just want to say that, to echo Rabbi Daniel, I will always think about from now on, because of you, culture of empathy. Wow. I mean, really, that's like coining a phrase. That's what we need. We need a culture of empathy. Sometimes we approach it, and sometimes we're far away from it, but that should always be the goal. So Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Shehachianu V'Kiyamanu V'Higianu Lazman Hazeh. Blessed is the Holy One whose presence fills creation, who gave us our lives, who kept us alive, and who enabled all of us, and you especially, Josephine Ita, to reach this significant holy moment in your life, in the life of your friends and family, and in the life of the whole world. The world is now closer to a culture of empathy because you became Bat Mitzvah in such a beautiful way. Amen. And Mazel Tov. And so, Josephine, we are coming towards the conclusion of this service. We have a few prayers and, of course, a moment of remembrance and Kaddish and a blessing from your parents. But you have done everything we have asked you to do to become a Bat Mitzvah, and we're really proud of you. I'm really proud of you. So we're on page 28 and 29. If people want to stand where they in their homes or over by you, I'm going to lead everyone in the Aleinu that says, may all of these prayers and all of these teachings help heal the world. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol lateit gedola liyotzer breshit shelo asanu kegoye haratzot velo samanu k'mishpachot adama. Shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kichol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, shehu notei shamayim v'yosed aretz, umoshav yikaro b'shamayim mima'al, ushchinat uzo, v'gov he meromim, hu Eloheinu ein od, Emet malkeinu efes zulato, kakatu b'torato, v'yadata hayom v'hashevota el levavecha, ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim, b'shamayim mima'al, ve'al ha'aretz mitachat ein od, v'ne'emar, v'haya Adonai, l'melech al kol ha'aretz, b'yom hahu, B'yom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. You may be seated. Josephine, in a moment, we're going to hear some names of the people that you are remembering. I did want to make sure I said before the conclusion, I just want to be thankful to Andrew and Leslie, who fill our sanctuary with music and now who have made these wonderful videos so that even as we're sheltering in place, even as we are trying to keep each other safe through this virus, are allowing us to still hear them beautify our prayers. And so I'm really grateful for our music and for our ability to keep hearing that music even through this time period. And so, Josephine, we are on page 30, and please tell us the people that you and your family are remembering on this Bat Mitzvah date.
Today we specially remember Alex Berman, Edith Berman, Edward Kaplan, Sarah Kaplan, Julius Banashek, Helen Banashek, Henrietta Sklar, Benjamin Sklar, Joseph Berman, and Philip Berman.
May all their memories be a blessing. I just want to add a few names, just some of our more recent deaths in the congregation. This is a congregational service as well as being your bat mitzvah. And so most recently, we're remembering Shirley Gershon, the mother of Bob Gershon, passed away yesterday. We're remembering Mem Mofshin, who was a wonderful teacher at CRC, an ordained rabbi. We're remembering Howard Handelman, Karen Handelman's father. We're remembering Virginia LaRocca, Angela Hockman's grandmother, Brian Wetzler, and Vern Benjamin, cousins of Paul and Liz Hershkowitz, Sam Stock and Dr. Norton Kronemer, Keith's father, and Orna Nitzan, the sister of Zohar Nusinov, for my aunt Donna Levitz, and for Rodney Barton, for Andrew Davis and Stan Zerman, and Jerry Brown and Rich Amaker, Carolyn Harvith and Jerome Schneider. And I give everyone at home or over at Josephine's house a moment to think about someone who has not been named, whether it's the yahrzeit, the anniversary of their death, or whether you are in your year of mourning. We want to make sure we honor them and honor you. So I am going to stand up to honor the people who we are remembering together. For all those who have died of COVID, we hope that we get a handle on this as soon as possible. For all those who've died from violence and from the kind of labeling, the hatred and division that Josephine talked about. We can't, when we label people, we make them less than human. So may all of their memories be a blessing, and we say together this prayer in their names and their honor. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei decho beit Yisrael, b'galal v'zman kariv ve'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olmei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitchomam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitalei v'yitalal shmei dekudesha barichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiram be'alma ve'imru, amen. Yehei shlam Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei Tavel, ve'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, amen. So Josephine, we have more blessings for you, because this should be a day of blessing, because you've been a blessing for all of us. And this, of course, is a very special blessing. It's your parents' blessing. So I'm going to ask your parents to come forward. We're so glad that you and your family are part of our sacred community. And we're excited to hear the words of your parents, words of love and pride and blessing. Joseph.
Joe P. It seems fitting today that we are celebrating your bat mitzvah here in the backyard of our home. This occasion is one of many milestones that have happened here. Moments that have shaped you into the amazing young person that you are. This is where we came when we were counting your age in hours and not years. This is where we celebrated birthdays and holidays and first days of school and friends and family, joys and losses. This is where you learned to walk and to learn and fall, both figuratively and literally, and how to stand back up again. Oh, don't cry. But this last part is most important because, as everybody knows, you fall off of every surface you can possibly find, whether it's moving or still, you will find a way to fall off, but you always get back up. This This is where your personality has expanded and grown. This is a place where we've watched your tremendous empathy take hold. I remember years ago when we were talking about superpowers, you said that empathy was your superpower. And everyone who knows you knows that this is true. You have the biggest heart. You feel the joys and pains of others. You rise up your friends. You love your family fiercely with your entire being. You dive headfirst into rabbit holes of information, and conversations last long into the night that end with laughing until you cry. You crave this world to be a better place. You seek out what's right and what is fair, and you advocate. I pray that you continue to seek out justice and stand up for those whose voices are not as loud and as clear as your own. I pray for you that you keep on your never-ending quest of knowledge, and I look forward to many more nights of being woken up with Josephine's random thoughts and facts of the day. They only come at midnight. This is when her best information comes. And the world is a more beautiful place because of you, your spirit, and your joy. It is the honor of my life to be your mom. I am so proud of you, and I cannot wait to see your ever-expanding imprint on this world.
Why am I crying and you aren't?
I love you.
I have to cry again.
Josephine, you carve out your space so deeply in the world with such pathos and intensity. You're a wonderful mix of contradictions and counterpoints, justice and justifications, head and heart, wonder and weirdness. You're a prolific midnight printmaker with a love of dramatic eye makeup, a top-of-the-lungs bikini kill singer with an exhaustive knowledge of K-pop, a ramen soup addict with a deep social conscience, an insomniac cereal muncher with a love of Jewish dogs and a couple Goyish cats, a dungeon master in training with an undying respect for Fergalicious, a namer of ducks in Tower Grove Park with an affinity for Celtic murder ballads, and a science rapper with a love for foot-long chili dogs. A Paul Simon song that popped on Spotify a couple days ago struck me as appropriate for this event. And at the end of the chorus, he sings, "And the whole world was whispering, born at the right time." Jay, when you were born, the whole world was whispering, born at the right time to join the countless voices who stand up for the rights of the voiceless, the right time to use that oversized, empathetic superpower to parachute into people's lives and heal them through discourse and dance moves. Jay, you were born at the time that needs you the most, but most importantly to the people that need you the most. You are a revelation to me, to your mother, to your annoying sister, to your teachers, your family, and your friends, all gathered here and through the super Cosmocam there. Your character and sense of integrity are beacons, shining a warm and welcoming light on all who enter your sphere. You bring us all so much joy. I'm going to keep going. There's more. You bring us all so much joy and laughter with your philosophical musings, your endless attempts to find all the loopholes, your drawings and songs and insights. I can't count how many conversations with you end with somebody else asking, "How old is she?" Having enjoyed a front seat to your growth and development, I'm so excited to see who you become, how all the ingredients that make up Josephine will fuse together to form this ever-evolving, magnificent acid test. You are and will continue to be an inspiration to an entire world that is no longer whispering, but are yelling, screaming, cheering. Thank God she was born at the right time.
Why am I crying and you aren't?
Amen. Wow. Amen. Stay up there, you guys. Stay up there. Beautiful blessings, both of you. And I love that Paul Simon song, Ben, with those Brazilian drums, born at the right time. And for sure, he's right. Zazie, come join your family. Where are you, Zaz? There she is. Hey, you guys have the challah that was delivered this morning? So I know that Judy Glazer, a wonderful member of CRC, has been making challahs, homemade challahs for all of the bar and bat mitzvahs and delivering them. And they're really yummy. I've had Judy's challahs before. And also, before we do the blessing and say Mazel Tov and Shabbat Shalom, be on the lookout, you guys. I'm not sure where you're celebrating, inside or outside, but there might be some CRC folks that will do like a kind of drive by to tell you how proud they are of you. So kind of be on the lookout for a little bit of a pandemic era car celebration. But this is for us the way we like to conclude. We like to put our arms around you, Josephine, and your family, and symbolically our arms around the whole world in that culture of empathy. There's Rabbi Susan, Rabbi Karen, Rabbi Daniel's here too, and we are proud of you. And so this is our blessing for you and for the world. We say, Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmarecha. May God bless you and keep you always.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. And may you take some of this beautiful light that you've given us and hopefully felt this Shabbat morning, and may you send it out into the world so we can all become more empathetic.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'asem lecha shalom. May all that is good and high and holy protect you. Protect you, Josephine. So that you really can be that light, helping us all create that culture of empathy, so that there will be more peace in our hearts, in our homes, in our community, and God willing soon, especially for you and your generation. May there be a better world, a world of peace. Amen, and Shabbat Shalom.
Amen. So raise up that cup, Josephine, the Kiddush cup. You got a Kiddush cup? And there we go. And for joy, for sweetness. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pari hadafen. Take a sip, Josephine. L'chaim, to life, to the rich, deep, beautiful parts of life. And now that challah, Judy's challah. Excuse me, we switched up the order a little bit. There it is. So that you guys all there at your home may have a wonderful celebration, which you so deserve, Josephine. We say, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam motzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Take a bite, so that you can, because we said the blessing. There it is. And share it around. And now, Mazel Tov, Shabbat Shalom, and enjoy the rest of Shabbat in this weekend. You did an awesome job. Yasher Koach.
Yasher Koach.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.